In our last episode, the Minutemen began to help settlements in the Commonwealth. We founded new settlements, and some existing settlements joined our cause. After we claim and defend 4 settlements, Preston Garvey tells us that we've got a bit of a problem.
We've gotten big enough that we're having trouble communicating with all our settlements. It's a good problem to have, and I have a solution. I think it's time to retake the castle. It used to be the Minutemen HQ, way before my time. Well fortified, centrally located, and most important, it has a powerful radio transmitter we can use to broadcast to the whole Commonwealth.
So what happened to this castle if it was so well fortified?
This was long before I joined up, but the story I heard was that some kind of monster came out of the sea and destroyed the fort. A lot of the leaders were killed in that battle, and I guess nobody ever felt it was worth the risk to try to retake it. I've always wondered if losing the radio station was the beginning of all our later problems. So, should I have an assault force assemble near the castle?
I'm not sure we're ready for this big of an operation.
It is a risk, but the radio station will let us respond immediately when people need help, anywhere in the Commonwealth. I'd say we need it if we want to bring the whole Commonwealth under our protection.
I don't see how that helps us. We already have an HQ.
It's the radio transmitter that we need. Whether we fully rebuild the castle after retaking it will be up to you.
It sounds like just what we need right now.
I thought you'd like the idea. So, should I have an assault force assemble near the castle?
I'll think about it and get back to you. No, we're not ready yet.
Your call. Just let me know when you're ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, let's do this.
We'll do some recon and meet you outside the castle. See you there.
With that, we begin the quest, Taking Independence, and if Preston Garvey is our active companion, he leaves our company and walks to the castle. We could escort him, but it's a very long walk. The castle is on the southeastern end of the Commonwealth, one of the more dangerous sections of the map. It's likely we haven't explored that far south until pretty late in the game. At any rate, whether we fast travel there or fight our way there, we find Preston Garvey and a handful of Minutemen waiting for us in the ruins of a diner. They're geared up for war. We find mines, ammunition, and medical supplies on a counter. And when ready, we can talk to Preston.
Everyone's here, General. There it is. Pretty impressive, huh? Its real name is Fort Independence, but the Minutemen always just called it the castle. Now you can see why I wanted to take it back.
Why do we need this place again?
The radio tower is the most important part, but with a bit of work, this place could be a really strong outpost. Know what I mean?
Not really. It looks pretty trashed.
Once we clear it out, you'll see. Get that radio tower up and running, repair the walls, people will see the Minutemen aren't afraid of a real fight.
Maybe. Those walls could definitely use some work.
I'll admit, it's seen better days, but the Minutemen have never been afraid of hard work.
Definitely. For 600 years old, it's in pretty good shape.
That's right. They don't make them like they used to. We take this place back, people will know we mean business. Our primary objective is to clear the courtyard. That's where we should see the most opposition. The wall on this side is the most exposed. But if we circle around south, we could also reach the main gate.
What are we waiting for? Let's just get in there and shoot those lobsters.
No. If we split up, we can flank them from both sides. It'll be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Why not let them come to us? We set up a firing line on this side and you can draw them out.
Well, General, what do you think?
So sounds like there are a bunch of Mirelurks waiting inside the walls of this castle. We have 4 choices. We can hang back for a little bit.
I'm not ready to make a call yet.
Sure, take another look around. If you get into trouble, we've got your back. But it's better if we go in with a plan.
This gives us an opportunity to see all of the arms and ammunition laid out before us. But when ready, we can talk with Preston again.
Well, General, what do you think?
And now we've got 3 choices. We could go in guns blazing.
Let's not overcomplicate this. Just get in there and hit them with everything we've got.
If you say so. All right, people. You heard the General. Let's move out. Try not to draw their attention until we're in position.
With that, the Minutemen advance on the castle. They gather on the western side of the ruined western wall. We have a brief moment to talk to Preston Garvey if we want to change our mind.
What's up? Change of plans?
No. Stick to the plan.
All right. Head out when you're ready, and we'll get in position.
But as soon as we discover the castle, the Minutemen charge forward. They race into the courtyard of the castle, and immediately a bunch of Mirelurk pop up. This could be a pretty tricky fight depending on our level, because not only are there quite a few Mirelurks, but the Mirelurk eggs scattered about periodically pop open, sending hatchlings swarming after us. The problem is that 2 of the 3 Minutemen who accompany us are not immortal. They can die. And if we do this quest at a lower level, it's likely that they'll die here. And as we're going to find out soon, they're going to become very useful later. Or we can choose a pincer attack.
Let's hit them from both sides.
We'll split up, and you can join whichever side you think needs the extra support. All right, people. You heard the general. Let's move out. Try not to draw their attention until we're in position.
With that, the Minutemen advance on the castle. 2 of the Minutemen approach the western wall. Preston and the other Minuteman move around back to the southern gate. Just like last time, we could change our minds at this point, but as soon as we discover the castle, both sides advance. This choice might be better than going in guns blazing, because it's less likely that Mirelurks will gang up on one Minuteman, killing him quickly. But it's still not the best option. There's a lot of chaos on these walls, and just like last time, it's very easy to finish the battle and find that some of the other Minutemen have been killed. The final option is to draw them out.
Set up a firing line, and I'll draw them out.
Sounds good. We'll hold back and wait for them to come to us. Just don't get yourself trapped in there. All right, people. You heard the general. Let's move out. Try not to draw their attention until we're in position.
And this is the best option if our goal is to minimize casualties, because with this option, we have greater control over the number of Mirelurks we're fighting at any given time. Just like with the guns blazing option, all of the Minutemen race to the crumbling western wall, but they hang back here at this guard post. Once we discover the castle, they don't move forward. Instead, we can lure Mirelurks out of the castle one by one. In this way, no one gets ganged up on, and slowly, Mirelurk by Mirelurk, we clear the entire place.
Make every shot count!
Made it.
When all the Mirelurks are dead, the surviving Minutemen advance upon the castle, and they convene by the radio tower in the middle of the courtyard.
Damn. Looks like they've been nesting. We're gonna have to take out these eggs, or they'll be back before we know it.
Lurks like to hold up inside old buildings, so the walls are probably full of them.
Sure looks that way. Here's how we're gonna play this. You hold here in the courtyard and take care of any eggs you find. The general and I will clear the walls.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this, General.
Looks like we've got to clear out the nests. Even though Preston orders the Minutemen to clear out all of the nests on the ground floor, they actually only clear out a few. We'll have to go through and clear most of these out ourselves. We could go in with a melee weapon and just smash up all the eggs, or we can try to collect as many as we can. And that may be the wisest option because Mirelurk eggs can be cooked up. They make great omelets, and cooking is another way to accumulate some experience. But not all of the Mirelurks attacked at the beginning. Every now and then we'll find one still buried. But then, we notice one of the Minutemen walking towards the western wall. He stands there momentarily, and then calls us over.
What the hell was that?
General, Preston, you're going to want to see this. What should we do, General?
All right, here we go.
A Mirelurk Queen bursts from the water. This must be the monster that Preston Garvey was talking about that originally destroyed the castle. If we don't stop it at the wall, it quickly invades the courtyard of the castle. And there's nowhere safe. In addition to having strong melee damage, it spits a horrible poison that can reach any of the walls of the castle. And getting stuck in the stream of this poison can quickly eat away at our HP. If the Minutemen who came with us manage to survive the first battle, then they'll be there on the ground to distract the Mirelurk Queen, making it easier for us to do damage from distance. But if that's the case, the Mirelurk Queen will very likely kill some of the Minutemen. And again, not only will we want to avoid this from a role-playing perspective, but from a practical one as well. Because if they die in this courtyard, their bodies stay there. We can't scrap them, we can't carry them away. If we turn the castle into a settlement, we essentially have Minutemen corpses just lying in the courtyard. So we need to find a way to kill this Mirelurk Queen while sparing the Minutemen's lives. Now perhaps you found a great way to do this that I don't cover, and if so, mention it in the comments below. But I found 2 ways that worked. The first way is to kite the sucker. As soon as the Queen spawns, fire off a couple of hits and get its attention. Then, have it chase you away from the castle. Preston and the other Minutemen will shoot at it, and all we have to do is survive. Of course, this is easier said than done, because the other Minutemen don't do nearly as much damage as you, the player character, do, and that melee attack really can be a one-hit kill. But, if successful, we kill the Queen far away from the castle and spare the Minutemen. Another option is to kill it with mines, but I found this to be rather tricky as well. We already know where the Queen spawns. She spawns in this little lagoon just outside the western wall. And in fact, if we swim into the water, we see a tiny little mound of dirt, which is the exact point where the Queen spawns. We could just throw down a bunch of frag mines. There were some inside the diner when we arrived, and at this point in the story, we've likely collected a lot ourselves. If we toss the frag mines into the water, they slide down and settle right at the spot where the Mirelurk Queen spawns. But this is actually a problem, because when the Queen spawns, she immediately triggers all of the mines. But she's also invincible for about half a second, which means that if the mines are directly on her spawn point, she won't take any damage after triggering the mines. So the trick to this is to lay the mines on the beach just outside the western wall, but not so close to the water that they begin to slide down towards the spawn point. Also, if we accidentally drop a mine on another mine... Yeah, I didn't know that you could trigger a mine by dropping a mine on a mine, but I guess you can. So this is tricky. We gotta make this section of the beach as densely packed with mines as possible. Once mined, we then have to hope that when the Queen spawns, it doesn't wander off in some other direction. So standing by this gap in the wall and getting its attention as soon as possible so that it focuses on the player character is the best way to lure it into the mines. If we're able to achieve that, we can take off a huge chunk of its life, making it much easier and faster to kill. In this way, we can save as many Minuteman lives as possible.
Yeah! We did it!
Wait till they hear about this.
With the Queen dead, Preston Garvey and the surviving Minutemen gather in the middle of the courtyard.
All right. Good work, people. But we aren't done yet. The General and I are going to have a look at the radio to see what shape it's in. The rest of you, clear out any remaining Mirelurks or eggs you find. Let's go see if there's anything left of the old transmitter.
Preston walks us towards the old radio transmitter. Apparently, it's still working.
Well, I guess it could be worse. See what you can do with it. I'm gonna go see what else is left around this old place.
Lying on a desk next to the radio transmitter is a copy of Guns and Bullets.
Hell yeah.
You've collected an issue of Guns and Bullets, Plasma, the weapon of tomorrow. Ballistic weapons permanently do 5% critical damage.
Nobody's going to believe that we actually killed that thing.
If we try to activate the radio transmitter...
Once I power this up, we'll be ready to broadcast.
So, we've got to hook it up to a power source. Accessing the castle workshop, we can place down a generator. We see that the transmitter requires at least 10 power. We could use a large generator, but that requires more rare materials and rank 1 of science, so instead we can use 2 medium generators hooked together. There's not enough steel to craft both of them, but thankfully, there's enough rubbish lying around, including destroyed artillery, that we can scrap to give us what we need to place the second medium generator. Once the transmitter is powered, we begin to hear fiddle music coming from it.
Seems to be in working order.
We clear the place of any more Mirelurks and eggs. I discovered that there was a missile launcher on a table in one of the rooms. If only I found that earlier. And then track down Preston Garvey.
Wow, we really did it. I've been watching the Minutemen fall to pieces for so long, this is really something. Now we've got to pay off on what we've started. Bring the whole Commonwealth together and make it last this time. So, back to business. But with Radio Freedom up and running, we can broadcast alerts to you anywhere, anytime.
With that, we complete the quest, taking Independence, and the one immortal Minuteman, the only one of the three who couldn't die, sits down at the chair to operate the radio.
I hope you're finding the broadcasts useful. I think we're really starting to make a difference.
And any other surviving Minutemen join the castle settlement as its first settlers. With the transmitter active, we now can access Radio Freedom from our Pip-Boy. Radio Freedom plays a variety of fiddle music, and every now and then, the operator will chime in with Minuteman alerts.
It's midnight here at Radio Freedom. Nothing new to report. Keep it tuned here for Minutemen alerts.
This is a great way to get new Minuteman Radiant quests without having to have Preston Garvey with us all the time. Radio Freedom will offer us all of the same Radiant quests that Preston Garvey could offer us by talking to him in person.
Attention, Minutemen. We've just gotten word that a settlement is in trouble. Anyone within range, please respond. You're tuned to Radio Freedom. Any Minutemen in the area. There's a settlement that's been raided by super mutants. Please respond if you can help. This just in. A settlement has requested help from the Minutemen. Let's not leave them hanging, people. You're tuned to Radio Freedom. Attention, Minutemen. News has come to us of a settlement that needs our help. If you are in the area, please respond. Alert. I've just been notified of a kidnapping. Minutemen, please respond if you're in the area. You're tuned to Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen.
And when our settlements get attacked, Radio Freedom lets us know.
Alert. Rogue synths have been reported near one of our settlements. Any available Minutemen, please respond.
It doesn't offer us any new quests that Preston won't give us himself, but it does have unique dialogue that we'll try to cover whenever possible. And of course, we unlock the castle as a new settlement, one of the coolest settlements in the game. It comes with 5 beds and plenty of rooms with roofs where we can place more beds. So unless we have a really large settlement with lots of settlers, there's no need to build additional structures. The courtyard is dirt, so we can plant a farm right in the middle of the settlement. Or we could plant it outside of the walls, but if the castle is ever attacked, it's likely the crops will be damaged if they're outside the walls. So I like to put them in the courtyard. One unique thing about this settlement is that the interior walls and the rooms within are already wired for electricity. To power it up, we have to connect a power source to a switch, which is posted right outside a gap in a brick wall that's connected to all of the wires within. In this way, we can very easily illuminate the entire interior of the castle. There are a few rooms that are not wired, but the ambient energy from the conduits outside have a wide enough range to allow for a light bulb, at least, inside the larger rooms. And it already comes with a water source. In the walls, we see a pipe snaking across the ceiling and going outside through a gap. This pipe connects to a water purifier, which is already posted outside, that is also already wired to our power source through a window. However, the purifier requires at least 5 power. With the transmitter requiring 10, we need at least 15 power to fully operate everything that comes with the castle. The transmitter in the middle of the courtyard does have a speaker, and it might get annoying listening to the same fiddle songs over and over again. Thankfully, there's a switch attached to the transmitter, and we can turn off the external speaker anytime we want. The castle also comes with a shop. This was great for my character because he didn't have the charisma or the perks necessary to build shops on his own. And it's a clinic, which generates settlement happiness. I chose to repair the walls of my castle using the concrete wall toolkit that came with Wasteland Workshop. Without mods installed and without using console commands, it can be really tricky trying to completely repair the walls. Instead of trying to make them as good as new, I just wanted to make sure that we couldn't get attacked from outside these gaps in the walls. So I only made them 1 layer thick. But I fully populated the castle as a settlement. It has a number of guard posts already that we can assign settlers to. I added a few more, and I put up turrets to act as settlement defense. Aside from repairing the wall, I didn't do a lot cosmetically to the castle, but I did manage to get it to 100 happiness. Here's a before and after montage of how my castle ended up.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen.
With the castle claimed and fortified, and with Radio Freedom back on the air, the Minutemen are once again becoming a force to be reckoned with in the Commonwealth. We're starting to get a lot of attention from people who need our help, and people who might see us as a threat. Now, some settlements actually have their own stories. We'll explore one of those stories in our next episode. I publish new episodes in this series each and every week, so if you don't want to miss it, be sure to subscribe. If you like what I do and you want to support me, become a YouTube member, or even a supporter on Patreon. You can buy my plush or even some of my merch. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with the next episode in the full story of the Minutemen.